Good evening, distinguished observers of the human heart and the relentless seekers of truth who form the backbone of the Mr. Magazine community. You have navigated the chaotic seas of the internet to arrive at this lighthouse of clarity. Here, we do not traffic in the cheap currency of rumor, we trade in the gold of deep analysis. We strip away the filter of fame to reveal the raw, pulsating humanity that beats beneath the designer suits and the red carpet gowns. Before we embark on tonight's journey, a narrative that traverses the skies from Istanbul to Abu Dhabi, exploring the profound dynamics of Turkey's most grounded power couple, I must ask you to perform the sacred rituals of our order. Verify that you are subscribed. Ensure the notification bell is ringing in harmony with our uploads. And, for those who wish to move from the gallery to the inner circle, I invite you to click the join button. Your patronage is the lifeblood of this independent journalistic endeavor. Tonight, we turn our lens toward a duo that defies the laws of celebrity gravity, Barış Arduç and Gupse Özay. In an industry defined by ephemeral flings and messy divorces, they stand as a monolith of stability. Today, the headline screamed that Barış Arduç had departed for a prestigious event in Abu Dhabi. But the real story wasn't the destination, it was the companion. Gups Özay, his wife, his muse, and his anchor did not leave his side. This journey, coupled with a recent viral moment involving a witty comment about sea views, provides us with a unique opportunity to dissect the anatomy of a successful marriage in the spotlight. If you are ready to understand why this couple is the gold standard for romance in the 21st century, press the like button now. Let us board the flight. To understand the significance of today's events, we must look beyond the logistics of travel. Yes, Barış Arduç is a superstar, invited to grace the glittering halls of Abu Dhabi with his presence. But the decision to travel with Gupse Özay transforms a business trip into a statement of intent. In the lexicon of celebrity power dynamics, the spouse is often relegated to the shadows or left at home. However, the images emerging from the airport tell a different story. Witnesses describe a couple moving in perfect synchronization. There were no entourages separating them, no desperate attempts to grab the spotlight individually. Instead, there was the quiet, confident intimacy of two people who are each other's home. The way they walked arm in arm, the shared smiles that seemed to communicate a private language, and the palpable support Gupse radiated toward her husband, all of this serves as visual proof of their bond. This trip to Abu Dhabi is not merely an international excursion, it is a public reaffirmation of their partnership. In a world where actors often prioritize their brand over their marriage, Barış and Gupse are showing us that their brand is their marriage, or rather, the health of their marriage is the foundation upon which their individual brands are built. Gupse is not there as a mere accessory. She is there as a source of strength, a grounding wire for the high-voltage electricity of Barış's fame. The social media reaction was instantaneous and overwhelmingly positive, a digital standing ovation for a love that feels refreshingly real. To truly appreciate the fruit, we must examine the root. The story of Barış and Gupse is not a fairy tale spun by a PR agency, it is a story of organic growth. It began on the set of Deliha, a film that left an indelible mark on Turkish comedy culture. But more importantly, it left a mark on their lives. It is a rare and beautiful thing when love blossoms not in the dramatic, tear-soaked scenes of a soap opera, but in the laughter and chaos of a comedy set. Their relationship was forged in humor, that most honest of emotions. While the world watched their on-screen chemistry, a deeper, more profound connection was knitting itself together behind the scenes. It started as a friendship, the strongest foundation known to man. And slowly, deliberately, evolved into romance. They did not rush. They did not seek validation from the press. They allowed their love to ripen in the dark, away from the prying eyes of the paparazzi. And when they finally tied the knot in 2020, they did so on their own terms. The ceremony was simple, private, and devoid of the circus-like atmosphere that usually accompanies celebrity weddings. This choice was a declaration: this marriage is for us, not for you. It demonstrated a maturity that is scarce in their industry, prioritizing the sanctity of the vow over the spectacle of the event. The narrative of the Arduç union entered a new, transcendent chapter in September 2022 with the birth of their daughter, Can Ossia. The arrival of a child is a stress test for any relationship, but for Boris and Gupse, it appears to have been a galvanizing force. The name Jan Ossia itself suggests a blend of strength and heritage, a fitting moniker for the child of two such formidable personalities. But what truly sets them apart is their parenting philosophy. In an age where shorenting, the oversharing of children on social media for likes and engagement, is the norm, Boris and Gupse have chosen the path of the lioness, fierce protection. They have consciously decided to raise Jan Ossia away from the digital glare. You will not find her face plastered across Instagram ads or used as a prop in photo shoots. This decision speaks volumes about their values. It says that they view their daughter not as an extension of their fame, but as an autonomous human being deserving of privacy. When they do speak of her in interviews, the emotional weight is palpable. Boris's eyes fill with tears, Gupse's voice softens. These are not rehearsed sound bites. They are the visceral reactions of parents who are deeply, madly in love with their child. Boris's repeated declarations that "my family is my priority" are not empty slogans, they are the code by which he lives. And Gupse's ability to balance the demanding role of a mother with her creative career demonstrates a modern, matriarchal strength that is nothing short of inspiring. Now, we arrive at the moment that has dominated the cultural conversation in recent weeks. Gupse Özay's Sea View comment. It is a moment of such unadulterated brilliance that it deserves a deep sociological analysis. The context was simple: a fan, perhaps projecting their own fantasies, commented, Gupse probably says, "Look at my husband every morning." It was a comment born of the public's obsession with Boris's physical beauty. A lesser celebrity might have been offended, or conversely, might have played into the vanity. Gupse, however, chose the path of the comedian. "I used to say that. I don't say it anymore," she quipped. "It's like when you live in a house with a sea view, you don't look at the sea anymore, it's kind of like that." Why did this go viral? Because it destroys the myth of the honeymoon phase with the hammer of reality, but does so with love. It is not an insult to Boris, it is a testament to the comfort of their intimacy. She is saying that his beauty has become normalized to her because he is no longer just a handsome actor. He is her husband, the father of her child, the person she wakes up next to on good days and bad. It strips away the pedestal and places him firmly on the ground, right next to her. It is the ultimate flex. She is telling the world, the man you all dream of? He's just part of my scenery. It is a display of confidence that only a woman secure in her relationship could make. If Gupse's comment was the serve, Boris's response was the ace. The world turned its eyes to the handsome husband, waiting for a reaction. Would he be bruised? Would his ego be wounded by being compared to a neglected landscape? His response was a masterclass in secure masculinity. "Everything my wife says is true," he stated calmly. "She must know something. Let us unpack this." By validating her joke, he validated her intelligence and her humor. He did not try to correct the narrative or reassert his dominance. He stepped back and let her shine. This simple sentence, "Everything my wife says is true," is a powerful message about trust. It implies that he trusts her perception of their reality more than he trusts the public's perception of him. It is this dynamic, the funny, sharp-witted wife and the stoic, supportive husband who is in on the joke, that makes them unbeatable. It destroys the toxic trope of the fragile male ego. Boris Arduk is secure enough in his own skin to let his wife roast him on national television, and then applaud her for it. That, my friends, is true power. Upon landing in Abu Dhabi, amidst the flashing lights and the foreign air, Boris gave an interview that encapsulated the essence of their journey. When asked about his relationship, he did not resort to clichés about passion or destiny. He spoke of something far more durable: growth. "Gupse and I have taught each other so much," he said. "We have supported and inspired each other. Life flows much more easily when you choose the right person to share the same path with. Life flows much more easily." Note the choice of words. He does not say life becomes more exciting or more glamorous. He says it becomes easier. In a life as complicated as theirs, ease is the ultimate luxury. He is crediting Gups not just for his happiness, but for his functionality. She is the lubricant in the gears of his life, the wind in his sails. This statement resonated deeply with the Turkish public because it reflects a yearning for partnership over performance. We are tired of couples who look good on Instagram but hate each other behind closed doors. We crave the story of two people who actually make each other better. This story forces us to confront our own definitions of love. In a culture that prioritizes the spark and the chase, Boris and Gups prioritize the flow and the lees. My question to you is this. Do you believe that the sea view phase, where the extraordinary becomes ordinary, is a tragic loss of passion, or is it the ultimate goal of intimacy? Is comfort the enemy of romance, or is it the highest form of romance? Pause the video. Scroll down to the comments. Share your philosophy. Do you want to be looked at with hunger every day, or do you want to be the view that is so constant it becomes part of the soul? Your answers are the threads that weave this community together. As we close the chapter on the Abu Dhabi protocol, let us carry with us the image of Boris and Gups walking through that airport. It is an image of two people who have weathered the storms of fame, the pressures of parenthood, and the scrutiny of the world, and have come out the other side holding hands. They remind us that true love is not about grand gestures or viral moments, it is about showing up. It is about getting on the plane. It is about being the sea view that is always there, calm and constant, no matter how chaotic the world becomes. We will continue to watch, to analyze, and to learn. Because in the end, the story of Boris Arduk and Gupse Özay is not just celebrity news, it is a blueprint for how to love in the modern age. If this deep dive resonated with your heart, please like the video. Subscribe to Mr. Magazine for more stories that matter. And click join to help us keep the lights on in the lighthouse of truth. From Istanbul to Abu Dhabi, and back to your screen, remember, the best view is the one you wake up to every day. Good night.